What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next I have got a really good unboxing here. This is a big box back from CGC. There are 17 books from the standard submission. That's one of the bigger submissions. I've also got 2 books from an express submission. So 19 total books. I'm gonna break it into 2 separate videos just so that it doesn't get a little too long, but this is gonna be a fun one. Stay tuned. Alright, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. If you haven't watched one of these videos before, I've got these books back from CGC that I submitted to get graded. Do not check the grades beforehand, so we get to see the grades together and you get to see either my, excitement for a good grade or a grade that meets my expectations, or disappointment for a lower grade. Some awesome books in this one. Like I said, this is a standard submission, and I've got 2 books from an express submission. And so those are generally some of the bigger ones. The only one above that is walkthrough. So there's some pretty awesome books in here. All right, so let's get into these. I'm gonna flip this, this box over here so I can cut from the bottom. And that way, when I see the books, or I don't really look down at them anyway, but at least it helps ensure that I don't see the grades as I'm taking these books out. If you haven't watched my my other video that I've already put out, I don't actually know what order I'm going to put these out in, but I put out a 14-book fast track economy submission. That was an awesome submission. I was very happy with the results from that one, and so go check that one out. That one's a lot of fun. Some cool books in there too. So with this one, I'm going to start with just some books from the standard submission. I might do then 1 book from the express, and then, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, let's start with the first one. If you're not familiar with these and kind of how I've done these videos in the past, if you haven't watched these before, what I'm going to do is I'll bring the book down from the top. You can, oh, okay, that's cool. Bring the book down from the top. I will not show the grade. I'll talk about the book, and then we will reveal the grade and we'll see how we did. So starting with a really cool one here. So this is Tales from the Crypt 33, an amazing Jack Davis cover. Because I can't really look closely at it, I have 2 copies of this in this submission. I don't know which one this is. I have one that is a really nice copy and one that's just a kind of nice copy. So the really nice copy I have is a 6 to a 6.5. The kind of nice I have is a 4.0. This is the origin of the Crypt Keeper, one of the few mummy covers that's in the Tales from the Crypt run. So this is a cool one. But when I reveal the grade, I might be able to talk a little more about this one. All right, so this is the 4.0. I think I picked this one up from Heritage. I don't remember for sure. So I'm hoping that this isn't the one that I thought was a 6.65, and that this is the one that I thought was a 4.0, and I got the 4.0, white pages. You can see up here, origin of the Crypt Keeper, and then this has got the Jack Davis little the signature down there, and just really, a cool cover. This is one of the things I really like about Jack Davis, is that he puts a lot of detail into his covers. I think he's just one of the, if I had to pick an EC artist, especially working on the horror, I think he is the most detailed, like just some of the best art out there. Not necessarily my favorite covers. There are some other ones that I'd probably say I like more, but yeah, just a great book. So there's that cover. And like I did in the prior videos, the other thing I was going to do was so these books now have these QR codes on the back. And so you can scan those and you can see the grader's notes. And I can't look at the grader's notes on my computer through the submission because it'll show me the grades for everything. And so I've got my other phone out here, and so I can scan that code and just look at the notes. Quite a few for this one, because I've been talking about that. They've been a lot better about the grader's notes. I think since they've really transitioned to the QR codes and getting rid of the notes on the labels. But this one says moderate chipping, full bottom of back cover. Moderate spine stress lines to cover, moderate staining to cover, small chip out of top of spine, small tear to bottom of back cover. So you can see here, there's the chipping on the bottom, there's the small tear Then moderate spine stress lines. I mean, it's tough to see because it's got a miswrap, but there are definitely some, some spine stress lines to this. But this is a clean presenting 4.0. I mean, like no big creases or anything in the middle. So yeah, really nice presenting copy of this book. But what is this? Okay, we'll talk about that one later if I get to that book in this video. All right, so, great to always, to start with one that's right on the grade estimate. So let's see what this one is, because I don't think that means these aren't coming out in order then, so I don't know what order this is. Okay, all right, this is an awesome book. This is Batman number 65. This is just a really, really great Catwoman cover. You've got the red background. I think the red backgrounds always just really pop. And so this one actually presents really, really well, but it has some chipping along the top of the back cover, and the bottom staple is pretty iffy, kind of loose. But I had this one at a 3 to a 3.5. We got the 3.5. Awesome. Yeah, so that's great. So here, let's see. So you can see the chipping on the top of the back cover there, and then there's also a little piece out of the back cover here. But front cover actually presents really well. It's really solid at this staple up here, this staple down here. There's this kind of tear at it and everything, but but still nice presenting copy of this book. Yeah, so definitely happy to get this one. And first appearance of the character called Wingman. I'm not familiar with Wingman. So, but yeah, definitely happy with that one. Let's check out the grader's notes on this one. So yeah, again, these QR codes, so nice. So light creasing to cover, light wear to cover, medium staple tear, bottom staple, multiple piece out cover. So yeah, I mean that you've got like a little bit of chipping on the side over here. There's the staple tear and that chipping on the back. So, but man, I've talked about this in a number of times, just how much better the back covers look for the DC and Marvel books from this era. They just definitely had a lot more money to to spend on the advertisements, because they don't have the like black and white type back covers like a lot of them do. Yeah, all right. So that's a great one. Getting the upper end of that, getting the 3.5, because I was worried about that chipping on the back. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to hurt the grade, but I felt like with how nice the book looked, a 3 to a 3.5 was pretty reasonable. Okay, this is a cool one too. I mean, they're pretty much all cool books in here. Standard Submission is some awesome books. So this is Captain Flight Comics number 9. But the thing with this one is, this is a Davis Crippen pedigree copy. And so when you're talking about pedigrees, I put him in like the top like 25%, maybe even more than that, of pedigrees that are out there. It's one of the bigger, kind of more in-demand pedigrees. And this book was beautiful. The reason I knew it was a pedigree is because it came, it was already cracked out, but it came with the label, and it said Davis Crippen pedigree. And I was able to check with an old sale, and I saw it was definitely the same book. Now, it was graded as a 6.5 in the old label, but I thought it was kind of like on the border of a 6 to a 6.5, and so I graded it as a 6 to a 6.5. And I should get the really cool pedigree label for this one, which is the gold label. Let's see. Yes, awesome. And I got the 6.0, so that kind of, actually, I think I have I have the old label here. So 6.5. Captain Flight, Davis Crippen pedigree, and so then this one, got a 6.0. But this is also why I've talked about that. Why just because somebody has a book cracked out does not mean you're gonna get the grade that's on the label of the cracked out book. That's why I had to cancel a purchase that I had made for another book, because the person, now this is maybe a month or so ago, the person had graded it as the cracked out label grade, but then the book had which is like a 5.5, and then the book had like 6 inches of spine splits, and I was like, this isn't a 5.5, and so I canceled that order, because that would have come back like a 2, and so that's why you can't just trust a cracked out book that it's going to have the exact same grade. But 6.0, golden label, Davis Crippen pedigree, LB Cole cover. This book is, I mean, it's stunning. It really is a stunning copy of this book. The thing that really hits it is there's this little chip on the spine. And that was on the original one as well. It's not like that was added from this. But yeah, I mean, this is this one that I showed in an unboxing where it's like you can just see the inks, the layers of inks on this thing. It's incredible. It really is an incredible book. So let's take a look at the grader's notes on this one. My phone's having a little more trouble with the gold label, it seems like. I guess I'll pass on this one. I'm not going to try to get it. I don't want to waste the time on it. But yeah, I think part of it is that the QR code is shifted down some, and so it's having trouble scanning it. But still, awesome. LB Cole, Captain Flight, number 9. These books like Captain Flight and Contact Comics, again, I've talked about these in other videos too. They had been more affordable for a while, but they have definitely gotten more expensive as LB Cole's got more popular and his horror books have gotten more expensive. So it's kind of like, now that's the next thing that people are transitioning to. So, all right. 3 for 3, like right on with this one. So that's pretty happy with that. So let's see what's next. Okay. All right. This one is Haunt of Fear number 17. Now, don't let this one trick you if you're looking up these books. And this is Haunt of Fear 17, but it's actually number 3. So it'll usually be in like GPA, it'll be in there twice. Some places will have it as issue 3 because it actually started at issue 15. And this is the origin of the Haunt of Fear, the Crypt of Terror, and the Vault of Horror. I think that's what this one is. But I have a copy of this in here, and I have a copy of Haunt of Fear 15. I thought one or both might have some restoration. There might be some glue on the spine. I couldn't really actually tell. I wasn't getting anything with the black light, but there's like a lot of tape and it just felt kind of stiff, so I wasn't sure. And so when I have books like that, I don't like selling them raw. I want to send them in to get graded to have CGC confirm for me or not whether it's restoration, just because I don't want to be responsible for selling somebody a book and then it getting a restored label and then it feels like I was misleading them or something. But I had this one at a 1.5. 1.8. Awesome. So yeah, this is a Johnny Craig cover, and you can see up here, origin of the Crypt of Terror, Vault of Horror, Haunt of Fear, used in SODI, or Seduction of the Innocent. And a 1.8 is, I mean, yeah, it's a lower grade, but this is a pretty big book. Now, my presser did contact me about this one specifically, that he said because of the amount of tape on the spine, it made it so like the paper wouldn't relax, so pressing was really not helping this book. So he said he did as much as he could, but that's why there's still kind of like some wrinkling and stuff on there. But yeah, apparently like the amount of tape on there really caused some problems with pressing this one. But still, like, I mean, I was expecting a 1.5. I was worried it might be restored and get a 1.8. Super happy with that. And I've talked about my presser a number of times, but I'll put his contact information in the description, because he has done an amazing job. I've been getting, I'm very happy with the grades I've been getting back. And so he's The Comic Book Presser. He's on Instagram. He has a web page, all that kind of stuff. And oh yeah, let's check the grader sounds. And I sent a number of books to him. Very happy with the results. So because when I'm grading books, I'm estimating what I think it'll be after pressing, and almost every time I'm getting, the grade I estimate or better. So I'm very happy. So tape cover, tape interior cover, heavy rippling, full left cover, multiple chip out of full right front cover. So yeah, lots of things going on with this one, but in reality, colors are actually really nice on this. Sometimes you'll get, really faded, like what do you call it, like the heading here, the green will get really faded kind of to almost like a brown, but I mean, this one, colors really do look nice on this copy. So very happy with that. That's a great book to get back. So kind of hoping the next one is maybe the Haunt of Fear 15, but like I said, I think they're just kind of randomly in here. So I don't know. They're not in the order of my submission. Okay. All right. This is an interesting one. So this is Marvel Mystery Comics number 56. This is an Alex Schomburg cover. Awesome. World War II, Human Torch, beating up Nazis. You've got you know, the woman, there we go, in the red dress on the cover, you know, tied up. You've got Toro that's like over a fire, which is funny because he's the miniature human. He's like the little Human Torch. And so he doesn't burn. So I don't know why they're trying to roast him, but yeah, it's just fun with him on the spit. Now I had problems with this book when I bought it. So I bought this book raw and it had glue all along the spine. It was not reported as having glue on the spine. Now the cover wasn't attached to the glue. It's like it was old and it had kind of like come back off. And so I spent like, I mean, I contacted the seller, we worked something out, it was fine. I was happy with that. But then I spent probably like an hour and a half or 2 hours with just like a little pick, you know, like getting the glue off because it's, and there was like on the bottom with one of on the page, there was like some paper that was glued together. So I would have gotten tear seals. And then depending on how they graded it, I could have gotten glue on the spine. Now, I was hoping because the cover wasn't attached that if it's a Golden Age book, if you remove enough of it, you still get a blue label. And so I'm hoping I get a blue label, not a purple label. Let's find out. Yes, yes, awesome, awesome. And off-white to white pages, which is nice. So yeah, you can see Alex Schomburg cover, bondage cover, and yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time making sure that I could get as much of that glue off as possible because they didn't even note the glue, which means I got off pretty much everything. And so I felt kind of bad, like down at the bottom I kind of had to remove a little bit of paper too, just because there was a lot of glue there. But to go for the blue label, it was well worth it to me. Because what did I have this one as? Oh, I forgot to say that. I had this one as a 1.8 to a 2. And so I got the 1.8. So, but I had it as marked as restored because I was worried it might get restored. So I was still going to be fine with it if it got the purple label, but that was worth my you know, hour and a half to 2 hours of time because that's a big difference getting a blue label versus a purple label. Just, yeah, awesome. So this one, detached cover, because yeah, like I said, cover's detached. Tape interior cover, light stain into cover, moderate wear to cover, multiple chip out of cover. So yeah, not even to mention a glue. Like I said, I spent a lot of time getting rid of it. I took out the black light, I lit it up, you know, and was just getting rid of anything that lit up with that glue. So awesome. But yeah, check out this cover. You've got Human Torch melting through the wall, which I love the way Schomburg does that. Always looks incredible. His covers are always just full. There's a lot going on a Schomburg cover. They are just full of detail. Lots of crazy stuff happening. You got this guy with his claw hand down here. Just, yeah, awesome cover. Amazing. That is a huge deal to get that. I mean, it's not a book that I'm like, I still paid quite a bit for that book. It's not like that's one that I like get some big win on it, but I'm happy to get the blue label instead of the purple label. That's awesome. I love those Schomburg World War II era covers. Okay, so if you watched my video from like a month ago, I sent in a Marvel Superheroes 12 that came back a 9.2. This was a book that I bought with that book. I bought it as a lot on eBay like 2 or 3 years ago. It's Marvel Superheroes 13. This is the first appearance of Carol Danvers. I love this cover. I love the red. I always think it really pops. This is a beautiful presenting copy. I had it as an 8.5. Let's see what we did. All right, 8.0. But white pages, which is a nice plus. But the thing I was concerned about with this, so you can see up here, first appearance of Carol Danvers, second appearance of Captain Marvel. And the thing that I was most worried about on this one was the top corner. It was just a little dinged up. I thought maybe I could get away with something a little higher with that, but I mean, this is a really nice, there's also a tiny, like one of the staples pushed through, just a hair, like a pinhead basically there. Because if you're not familiar with this square bound book, so the covers are glued on and the pages are stapled together on the interior. But yeah, just a really, really nice book. This book is much harder to get, there's a little, you know, ding down in the corner, much harder to get in high grade than issue 12. So this book in an 8.0 is worth around basically as much as that issue 12 in a 9.2. They're worth around the same amount in these different grades. And this book is much more rare in higher grade. It has a pretty big jump at an 8.0 with price. It's not as nearly as many of them out there. So, yep. Happy with that. I mean, half grade, not too bad. But I was a little worried about that top corner, and they just, oh yeah, I keep forgetting to scan the thing. So let's see how we did, or see what CGC said, because I'm guessing they probably commented on the top. Small multiple crease, full left of back cover, very light wear cover, very small crease bottom of front cover, breaks color. So I'm guessing maybe they're talking about that one. Small multiple crease, full left back cover. Yeah, okay, that's this. So it's basically, it's talking about, I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but it's up here. It's really talking about that corner. Like, that corner is really where the damage mostly was. But yeah, I'm still very happy with that book. So I'm at 6 now. Let's do one of these express books here. I don't know which one I'm gonna get. So gotta try to not, here, I'll just take one out like this so that I can save the other one for the other video. All right. Where are you gonna be? So express books, these are the only tier below walkthrough. So these are some bigger books. All right, and this is the bigger of the two that's in there. This is Startling Comics number 20. This is a World War II era cover. You can see you've got this character named Pyroman. He's battling, you know, these hooded Nazis on the cover. You've got the good girl, you know, or, you know, bondage cover in the back, but it's with like a snake. I mean, it's just like, this is a pretty crazy cover. This is a lot going on. You would think this was an Alex Schomburg cover with everything going on here, but it is not an Alex Schomburg cover. This book is very rare. I think there's like 12 on census, and I've never really seen raws. When I saw this one, I made an offer at it pretty quick to try to get this copy. I had this one estimated at a 3.5. This is not a cheap book. I think the last 3.5 sale was like $2,600 or something like that. I mean, it's an expensive book. See how we did. I was really impressed with the pressing. I thought it looked nice. So 4 or 5. Awesome. That is awesome. All right, so, because yeah, my presser sent me pictures after he had pressed this one. He was like, this one turned out really good. I think we got a grade bump on this one. So this is first appearance and origin of the Oracle, but yeah, just a lot going on this cover. This cover was done by Jack Binder, but yeah, awesome. And pretty good page quality, off-white pages. I had somebody comment when I showed this raw copy that they usually, whenever they see it, it's like brittle pages. But there's the back. You can see kind of along the spine there. That's where it had these it's a single staple book, and these are some tears at the staple. And you can see kind of like the spine roll corrected on the back a little bit. But yeah, 4 or 5. That's awesome. That is very exciting. I'm really happy with that. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll do two more books in this one. Let's see what ones are gonna come out. All right. Okay, this is a cool book too. Like I said, I feel like I'm gonna say that every time, but they're all cool books. This is Superman number 61. This is actually the first appearance of Kryptonite. So this is kind of, I think it's the first time Superman goes to Krypton too, something like that. Kind of an unassuming cover too. You've got, you know, I think it's supposed to be Lois Lane. It just did, you know, as a blonde brunette and a redhead, but just like all these women kind of giving flowers to Superman. White cover, and yeah, this one, it's a pretty tough book. You know, the white covers can often get pretty dingy. This one I felt looked really nice. I had it as a 6 to a 6.5. 6.5. That's great. All right, so it's Origin of Superman Retold. First time Superman returns to Krypton, so that's that, and first Kryptonite. So yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of like, with how important Kryptonite is to Superman, you would think this book would be bigger than it is. And I think part of the thing that hurts it maybe a little bit is the cover. But here's a back cover. Looks real nice. Got kind of like electric football game. But oof, man, 6.5. I'm definitely happy to get the upper side of the grade range with this one. That is great. So Superman 61, 1949. But that's also, I guess that's also something that's interesting with this one, that, you know, Superman was in 1938, and it took 11 years to get kryptonite, which you would think, like, if you didn't know that, you would think kryptonite had probably been around for a long time as kind of like his, or almost from the beginning as like the thing that he's weak against. But really, it took 11 years to get kryptonite. So very light foxing to front cover, very light spine stress lines to cover, very small multiple tear with crease right bottom of back cover. Yeah, so this was, I remember when I was grading this myself, this was the corner I was most worried about. It has this, there's a little tear there and some little creases. I wasn't sure how bad that was going to be. I don't really see the foxing. I mean, it says light foxing. I mean, it's probably like, there's this little bit of like dinginess, just a little bit on the cover. Maybe that's the foxing, but 6.5. It's awesome. All right, so one more book in here, and then I'll cut and I'll go to film the second part of this video. What's this one gonna be? Oh, okay, all right. So if you watched the collaboration video that I did with Drew with Como Comics and Mickey with Swagglehouse Comics, Drew had Al Feldstein, and this is and that's funny. Like I feel like I don't know if I'm ever pronouncing it right or not, because I thought that he changed the way he did his signature to actually draw like F-E-L-D and then a Stein, because most people say Feldstein, and I think it's supposed to be Feldstein, because I thought I remember seeing that in some of his later issues, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to say Feldstein. But so don't give me anything in the chat or correct me or whatever. I mean, or let me know if you've seen that, because I feel like I'm never sure if I'm saying that name right. But this is one of the books that he picked for one of his key iconic issues for Feldstein. And I mentioned that in the video. I was like, I'm not trying to like pump a book that I own or anything. I was like, I have one at CGC right now. So this one is actually a pretty nice presenting copy. It has a little tape on the cover, which is why I ended up hitting the grade. I had this one as a 4.0, and because a lot of times I did get a Tales from the Crypt, what was it? No, it was a Shock Suspense Stories 12 that had tape on it that I got a 5.5. And so that would be awesome if I got something, you know, better with this, because this is a nice copy. I hit it for the tape. Oh man, that's a huge book. Holy cow. 5.5. That's awesome. So, okay, so yeah, there's the tape here, and it's then there's a piece of tape right here. So that's really why I had knocked it down, because I feel like in other, like, I feel like they're a little friendlier on tape in the Golden Age, it seems. That's just something I got to remember, because wow, 5.5 on this book, that's huge. So you can see there you've got the Feldstein signature down there, and yeah, I mean it's a clean book. There's definitely some spine stress, but not a lot. I mean, it's almost unfortunate that tape is there. You wonder, it looks like maybe there was a little staple tear, but this staple looks really secure. And maybe there was a split at the top. I don't even see a split. Like, it almost feels unnecessary. You know, that always sucks when you see that, when it's unnecessary tape. But I mean, look at the center of this thing. Like, no creases, nothing. Little bit of, you know, damage down in the corner. On the back, you can see the spine stress lines a little better. And the tape is obviously more clear. But wow, 5.5. That is a way to end this video. Holy cow, that is a huge book, and a 5.5. Let's see what the grader notes say. So tape cover, light spine stress lines to cover, very light multiple stain, full front, full right back of cover, and small tear top of back cover. So the small tear top of back cover, maybe that's what this piece of tape was taken care of. And then let's see, what was the stain? Very light multiple stain, full right back cover. Full right back cover. I mean, must be pretty light, because yeah, I really don't see much in terms of stains. But I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. 5.5. This book is awesome. I am super, super happy with that. That was a good way to end this video. So yeah, I think the only one that I got lower was the Marvel Superheroes. They got the 8 instead of the 8.5, but everything else on, or you know, a little bit higher. That one, 1.5 grades higher. I definitely hit it too hard for the tape on that one. So, because yeah, you can see, I mean, that's a beautiful copy of that book. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a second one that I'm gonna film right after this. I'll release sometime later. But if you did, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. If you'd like to see more of these videos, I've got more videos over here. If you'd like to watch some of my other videos, and the subscription button right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.